Welcome, every soul seeking truth and strength, and to every chosen one who feels the weight of their journey. You've walked through shadows and have seen the rise and fall of others around you. You're here, breathing, pushing forward, despite everything that was meant to hold you back. Do you ever wonder why it is you keep rising? Why it is that no matter how many times the enemy attempts to pull you down, you remain standing? Chosen ones, listen closely. You have defeated them. Yes, you have defeated them in ways that even they can't fully understand. Each time you ignored their calls, meant to bait you back into chaos, you defeated them. Each time you blocked the messages sent to disturb your peace, you claim victory. With every step you took toward your own path and away from theirs, you declared your freedom. These people, filled with bitterness, wonder how you're still moving forward. They can't fathom how you continue to grow, how you walk boldly with secrets that God Himself has revealed to you. They carry grudges, hearts hardened by their own actions, upset that you chose to move on. But tell me, chosen one, who has the final say over your journey? It's not them, it's God alone. In Psalm 27 verse 2 we're told, "When the wicked advance against me to devour me, it is my enemies and foes who will stumble and fall." They see your elevation, your progression, and yet they're baffled. Each dark plan they devised, each word they whispered in deceit, now lies powerless in the presence of God's protection over you. They dig pits, hoping to see you fall, but instead they find you soaring. Have you ever stopped to wonder why they keep trying? Why, despite seeing you rise time and again, they return to see if you're still standing, hoping this time you've finally fallen. But each time they're left with the same disappointment, watching you become even stronger, even wiser. And it's not by your strength alone. It's God lifting you, His hand upon your shoulder, guiding you through every storm, every shadow. You see, they underestimated the power that comes from walking in truth. They thought their words, their whispers, their attempts to twist your spirit would bring you down. But Proverbs 21:30 reminds us, there is no wisdom, no insight, no plan that can succeed against the Lord. And you, chosen one, have walked under His covering, shielded from harm. Not because you never faced it, but because each time God turned it back upon those who sent it. These people, the ones who can't understand why you keep moving, live in the past version of you. They still see the person who didn't know their worth, who questioned if they were strong enough, who gave second chances even when they weren't deserved. They expect you to be the same, unchanged, so they can predict your next move. But you have evolved far beyond their grasp. Every struggle, every tear shed in secret has transformed you, molded you. You have become someone they no longer recognize, someone they cannot control. And here's the truth. They are not angry because of who you were. They're angry because of who you've become. You have shifted, leaving behind a version of yourself they were once comfortable with. Now, they're the ones left in confusion, in disbelief. When they see you, they see someone unbothered, unmoved by their antics. Someone they cannot reach, cannot shake, and it bothers them deeply. Think about this. What does it mean to be untouchable in the spirit? To walk in a way that no plan formed against you can prosper, no arrow of envy can penetrate. Isaiah 54:17 declares, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue which rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. This is your heritage, chosen one, and it cannot be taken. The very strength they despise is the strength God gave you. A mantle they can't lift, a weight they could never bear. They look at you now and see the light in your eyes, the peace on your face, and the power in your steps. And they wonder how. How did you manage to escape the darkness they tried to cast over you? How is it that you see through their deceptions, hear the thoughts they don't speak, know the secrets they tried to hide? It's because God has opened your eyes. He has peeled back the layers, revealing what lies beneath, giving you sight to discern truth from lies, light from shadows. Now I ask you, are you prepared to keep walking in that light? Knowing what you know, seeing what you see, are you willing to stand in the presence of those who underestimated you? Not with bitterness, but with a grace they don't understand. God has called you to rise above, not just to defeat your enemies, but to walk in a realm they cannot enter. There's a warning here too, a reminder that they will return, drawn by their own confusion, hoping to find the version of you they once knew. But each time they return, they will find someone stronger, someone more aligned with God's will. They will see that you no longer operate in the realm of human revenge, but in the Spirit's freedom. And here's where they fall short, for they cannot grasp what it means to be free, not as the world offers, but as the Spirit gives. Romans 8:31 asks us, if God is for us, who can be against us? They cannot reach what God has hidden in His shadow, cannot harm what God has wrapped in His protection. You, chosen one, are shielded in ways they can't comprehend. Their anger and bitterness will only serve as fuel for your elevation, pushing you closer to God and farther from the ties that once bound you. And yet, in their hearts, they wait, plotting, planning, as if they can undo what God has ordained. But they will come to find that God's purpose cannot be rewritten, not by human hands, nor by the schemes of the enemy. God has set you apart, given you wisdom, discernment, and vision beyond what the eye can see. This is your victory, a victory that isn't based on human standards, but on divine authority. Do you understand now, chosen one, why you feel this power within you? This strength that defies human understanding, that keeps you standing when others thought you'd fall. God has placed His Spirit within you, and with that comes a resilience they can't comprehend. Every step you take confuses them, because they're still trying to figure out how you made it through the storms they set in motion. They wonder how you found the courage to walk away from the chaos they invited into your life. But here you are, stronger, wiser, walking with a purpose they can't erase. Psalm 18:39 says, "You armed me with strength for battle. You humbled my adversaries before me." This is the strength that guides you, the divine armor that shields you, and they cannot dismantle it. You didn't need their permission to grow. You didn't need their approval to rise. And every time you took back your energy, every time you chose silence over their chaos, you spoke volumes without a single word. Now, look at your life, at where God has placed you. Think about how far you've come from those days of doubt, of confusion, wondering why certain people seem so intent on disrupting your peace. But, my friend, it was never truly about you. No, they were reacting to the light within you, a light they feared because it reflected the shadows they carried. They couldn't stand to see you rise because it reminded them of their own stagnation, their own refusal to change. Chosen one, have you ever considered that the peace you have now is your reward? That the quiet strength you carry is the result of battles won in silence, of victories gained through resilience? They are baffled because you don't move the way they move. You don't seek revenge, nor do you harbor bitterness. You walk in the Spirit, and that, to them, is unfathomable. They wait for you to stumble, yet every time they come close, they see a different version of you, one more untouchable, more anchored in faith. With each attempt they make, they are reminded that they have no hold over you. You walk in a light they cannot dim, carrying a peace they cannot disrupt. Their strategies fall short, and you continue to rise, an embodiment of what it means to live by faith and not by sight. But here is the thing: they will continue to watch. They will continue to hope for your fall, clinging to memories of who you used to be. They remember the version of you that doubted, the one that forgave too quickly, that wanted to believe the best in everyone. But you have transformed, and each time they try to pull you back, they are met with the realization that you are beyond their reach. You have risen, not just in the world's eyes, but in God's eyes, and His is the only opinion that matters. So when they come back around, when they try to stir the waters you now walk peacefully upon, remember this: they can only access what you allow them to see. They will never know the depths of your transformation, the strength of your spirit, for they do not have the keys to that realm. This is what frustrates them, that they no longer have the power to disrupt your life, to plant seeds of doubt in your mind. They cannot turn back the work God has done in you. Psalm 23 verse 5 tells us, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows." You, chosen one, are standing at that table unbothered, nourished, whole, while they stand in confusion, grappling with the truth that you are untouchable. They thought they could manipulate you, string you along, but they were only fooling themselves. The game is over. The power they thought they had over you, it was an illusion. You became their lesson, their mirror, their awakening. They thought you were the weak one, but now they realize it was their own weakness that drove them to act as they did. When they tried to control you, they only revealed the chains they were bound by. And with every moment you stepped away, you left them behind, left them to their own devices, to the pit they dug for you. Have you ever wondered why they're so angry now? Why their bitterness has grown? Why they can't let go? It's because they see what they tried to destroy, and it's stronger, it's shining, and it's beyond their reach. They can no longer manipulate you, deceive you, or pretend to care. You see through it all. Your discernment has become sharper, your vision clearer, and they know, they know, that they have no access to this new version of you. God has placed a hedge around you, a light within you that blinds them, reminding them of every failed attempt to pull you down. And chosen one, don't you see? Every day you rise, you defeat them. Every smile, every truth spoken, every moment you walk with your head held high, you're claiming victory. They had their chance. They had their moment to do right, to see the truth, to honor you. But they let it slip away. And now God has said, enough. The days of you looking back, questioning yourself, trying to understand their motives. Those days are over. In Isaiah 41:10, God tells you, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." They thought they could pull you down, but it was God Himself who held you up, who stood beside you through every storm, every trial. They may have planned for your downfall, but God planned for your elevation. You didn't just survive, you thrived. They can't understand why you're no longer affected, why their words no longer touch you, why their presence feels like nothing. It's because you walk with God now. And in that walk, you've found freedom. You are no longer bound by the opinions, the judgments, or the expectations of those who don't see your worth. You are walking in your purpose, holding your head high, knowing that God has granted you peace that surpasses all understanding. So, chosen one, take a breath and remember, every step forward is a step they cannot follow. Every moment of joy, every instance of strength, it's a reminder to them that they no longer have any hold over you. They had their time. Now, it's your time. You've defeated them, yes, but even more, you've risen above them. You are walking on ground they will never touch, breathing in air they will never know. God has lifted you, set you apart, made you whole. They can watch, they can wonder, but they will never again have access to you. You are beyond their reach, chosen one, protected by the one who never fails. Hold on to this, carry it with you and let them see the light they cannot dim. You have defeated them, and they know it. It's your time to shine, to walk forward, unbothered, untouched. Amen.